Genesis 1:5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. 1. The first naming act. In this verse, God names for the first time in Scripture. He calls the light day, and the darkness night. In ancient thought, naming signified ownership and authority. To name something meant to define its nature and purpose. God's naming declares his sovereignty over creation. Light and darkness belong wholly to him. This is not a myth of competing gods. It is a declaration that Yahweh alone reigns over both day and night, the entire cycle of time. Later, humanity shares in this divine authority when Adam names the animals, Genesis 2:19-20. By beginning creation with naming, God establishes a pattern. Order, control, and purpose replace chaos and emptiness. 2. The meaning of evening and morning. The phrase, "There was evening and there was morning, the first day," marks the close of God's initial creative work. Evening and morning form a rhythmic framework that organizes each of the 6 creation days. In Hebrew thought, days begin at sunset. Thus even now, Jewish tradition counts a new day from evening to evening, Leviticus 23:32. Spiritually, this reflects movement from darkness into light, from confusion into revelation, from night into the illumination of God's presence. Even without the sun, created later on day 4, God defines day and night to illustrate that time itself is his creation and under his command. 3. God's authority and sovereignty. By naming and structuring the alternation of light and darkness, 1. God demonstrates his authority over time and all creation. 2. He introduces order and rhythm, essential foundations for life to flourish. 3. He reminds humanity that life is not random. The patterns of day and night reveal God's dependable faithfulness. Psalm 19:1-2, Psalm 74:16. This principle later teaches a moral truth. God rules over absolute opposites, light and darkness, good and evil, and will ultimately separate righteousness from sin, just as he divided light from dark. 4. The spiritual message of verse 5. A. Light and dark as life and death, truth and deception. God's light exposes truth, representing his holiness and wisdom, while darkness symbolizes moral ignorance and rebellion. Isaiah 5:20, John 3:19-21. B. Naming reflects divine care and order. God's intentional naming points to personal care. He shapes his creation like a shepherd distinguishing his flock. Nothing is accidental or meaningless. The pattern for human life. Every human day mirrors God's creative pattern. Chaos yields to order, labor gives way to rest, and darkness gives rise to dawn. This rhythm teaches dependence on God for each new beginning. 5. The first day, Yom Echad. In Hebrew, the phrase literally reads day 1, Yom Echad, not the first day, emphasizing completeness and unity. It suggests that the creation process begins not with a sequence, but with a single whole act, the first expression of time itself. Whether one interprets this day as literal, 24 hours, or symbolic, a period of God's creative activity, the focus remains the same. God initiates light, time, and order. Humanity must view all existence as part of his divine plan. 6. Application for today 1. Recognize God's control. Every sunrise and sunset testify that the same God who created time still governs it. 2. Embrace daily renewal. Each dawn symbolizes grace, a renewed opportunity to live in God's light. Lamentations 3:22-23. 3. Walk in the light. As believers, we are called to reflect God's light to a darkened world. Matthew 5:14-16, Ephesians 5:8-9. Summary. Genesis 1:5 reveals God's creative authority, organization, and care. He names day and night, establishing his mastery over time and the transformation of darkness into light. With this, the first day ends, not only a marker of chronology, but a theological symbol. God defines reality. God orders chaos. God rules both light and darkness. The verse closes with hope. The world that began in darkness now moves toward the morning, symbolizing the ceaseless rhythm of God's goodness and his eternal reign.